Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's continue to talk about this Karrion Kross situation because there is a guy on the independent scene who's very involved in independent professional wrestling who says that Karrion Kross is charging a very, very high price to appear his post-WWE career. And this is some guy in independent wrestling who's very involved. This guy also, the same guy involved in independent professional wrestling who saw the very high price for having Karrion Kross appear at a show, also says he's not buying the departure from WWE from Karrion Kross. Now, it seems actually at this very moment that it is legit that Karrion Kross is no longer with WWE. But will that last forever? No. I do believe Karrion Kross will be back in WWE, and WWE will claim it was some sort of big ruse, planned work type thing, and all part of the show. But it doesn't seem that way. There's some little hints that make it seem like it still might be part of a work, might be part of a plan, but Scarlett not being offered a contract, his contract expiring, also Karrion Kross tweeting, "I hear you" on Friday Night SmackDown, the most recent Friday Night SmackDown, which was a very, very boring show. So he's still involved in that way, and then we have this independent wrestling promoter saying he's charging a very high price, and through that he just doesn't buy the whole departure. I do think, even though it seems legit because he put out a calendar with all of his appearances, his shirt was still really selling out. WWE finally put that shirt on sale, so that gives you a little more hints that this might be legit. And maybe it's legit for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, but you will see Karrion Kross back in the WWE, and they will use it to continue promoting this movement. Now, they had a huge movement going. The We Want Kross was very large. There were some chants on Friday Night SmackDown. There weren't on Monday Night Raw, but there were on Friday Night SmackDown. How are they going to use that to continue moving this movement forward while also sort of letting Kross do all of these other dates, make some of his money, use social media, continue the movement, and then bring him back potentially when the time is right? Because I do think Karrion Kross will be back in WWE because all of this stuff is just very interesting that's happening right now. I don't think any of it's a work. I think it's all part of a shoot. But there is going to be some manufactured parts that make it seem part of this overall story that WWE was pulling the strings, but they just happen to sort of stumble upon Kross, who's been doing a really good job with the documentary and all this other stuff that's helped him get over and over with the fans, and then eventually he'll be brought back to WWE and he'll return to his sort of upper mid-card status, potentially because he's lackluster in the ring, but really has everything else. He's not a main event star. Everyone thinks that everyone could be a main event star. No, they can't be, right? But he is a very, very good at his job at promoting and selling and selling himself. Maybe not selling inside the ring, but he's done something magical. He's created something organic, and you have to give all the kudos to him for that, and you will eventually see him back in a WWE ring. And then the next thing we'll discuss is John Cena's final match. I thought Nick Nemeth or Dolph Ziggler and Jonathan Coachman came up with something really cool to do for John Cena's final match. The rumor initially was that Gunther was going to have John Cena's final match. We know Gunther is out getting surgery on his nose. He will most likely be back to be able to have John Cena's last match. Then in the one calendar year, Gunther will have retired Bill Goldberg, thank God, and will have retired also John Cena. And we can only hope and pray that also Gunther can retire CM Punk as well. So that was the original rumor. It was going to be at Saturday night's main event. Gunther, John Cena, boom, John Cena goes out. We love him, the GOAT, John Cena. Gunther does it. Gunther carries that momentum potentially into a Royal Rumble win, and maybe seeing a Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That's all potential. Maybe you have Sami Zayn win the Rumble. Maybe you have Roman Reigns win the Rumble. Maybe CM Punk wins the Rumble. Maybe Randy Orton wins the Rumble. All these sorts of options. But if you have Gunther defeat John Cena in his last match, that's huge. But Dolph Ziggler and Jonathan Coachman came up with this idea that John Cena should do a gauntlet match for his final match. And I really like that idea. You have a bunch of, superstars and opponents from John Cena's whole career, whoever that might be, and then you have some brand new stars that could potentially get over and use the rub from John Cena, whether they're from NXT, some new guys, Carmelo Hayes, whatever it is. You have John Cena just fucking run the gauntlet in his final match at 48 years old. You just squeeze everything you can out of John Cena's last match, and you run the gauntlet. You have new guys, old guys, all this stuff in the gauntlet. Maybe it's 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, and they suggested that it ends with The Rock. Now, if that's possible, that would be awesome. So you put Gunther in that match, you put CM Punk, put Randy Orton, right? You put all of his best opponents, you put some new guys, maybe Ethan Page, maybe LA Knight, maybe Carmelo Hayes, whatever it is, right? Whoever you want to be in that. And then the final boss comes out as the final opponent for John Cena. He beats him, and then maybe there's something that happens, or that's just a one-time appearance for The Rock, and he comes, he goes, and he does that match for John. There's a big celebration, there's a big farewell, and there we go. John Cena rides off into the sunset as Peacemaker. But now there's also something in question, that there's some AEW pay-per-view happening in December around the same time, and WWE is going to promote John Cena's final match on the same day, same night as the AEW pay-per-view. It's also hilarious that during AEW, John Cena's Peacemaker show gets promoted because AEW is on Max. John Cena's Peacemaker show is also on Max, so that's fucking hilarious. But also WWE is thinking about taking it off Saturday night's main event and having John Cena's farewell match go head-to-head with an AEW show in December. So we'll see. Those are all rumors. Will it be Gunther? Will it be a gauntlet match? Will it go head-to-head with AEW? I'm excited to see it all. John Cena's back, being the best babyface we've ever seen. The GOAT. I love it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about these couple things. Will we see Karrion Kross back in the WWE? And what will John Cena's final match be? And will it go head-to-head with AEW? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.